we know that we have die, some question cards, a timer, checkers, and game pieces. We know that we have a board game and it has ladders and slides. And we know that the game pieces are all different colors and the same size. And we know, okay.
Okay. We know that we have the board for chutes and ladders, so we can probably start from 1 where the game begins.
Mm-hmm.
And we might want to just have 100 be our end game goal, or we want to finish. We can probably use these 4 pieces as our characters.
Okay. And so we have our 4 pieces. We want to move forward through the board. What do we think? We want to use
just the one red
the
die?
dice?
Yeah, just that one, because the other one, it's not. I don't think it's 1
It's
through
not
6,
numbers.
is it? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
1 through 3 with some symbols on them.
Okay, so we can use the die to move forward.
And I was thinking that the blocks are different colors, and we have these question cards. So maybe when we roll a die, and if you land on a dark spot, you have to answer a question correctly or something.
I like that. Here's my suggestion. Instead of, because that's like, I don't even think we have enough cards for that, because that's, you know, every other. So
might run out of
instead
cards
we just do it at the beginning or end of a ladder or slide.
Oh, okay, so if you land on
Instead,
a
so
ladder.
maybe-
instead of actually using them like in the regular game, it's just
Right.
you land there, you have to answer a question.
Right.
So yeah, maybe we could do it either way. If you land at the bottom of the ladder, you have to answer a question. If you get it right,
you get to
you
do the
move
ladder.
up. And if you land at the top of a slide and you miss it, then you go
the slide. So we're using the game's regular rules, but we're making them a little
Right, so you don't necessarily have to go up or down. You have to first get the
and it
answer
can be
first.
optional.
We can use a
if you want
timer
to.
for how long you have to answer the question.
If you land on one of these, it can be optional if you want to do the question or not, because you don't want to answer a question, get it wrong, and go down the slide.
We can use the
Maybe.
timer for how much time you get to answer the question.
Okay, good idea. Good idea. What about, is there something we can do to incorporate the checkers?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. So every time you get a question right, you
Maybe,
get
yeah,
a
you get
piece,
checkers.
and that's how we designate a winner. It's like whoever gets to the
Oh,
end
with like 10
with the most
chips?
with the most pieces.
Oh, okay.
wins.
So no set.
Maybe we don't have
So
to-
everybody has to get to the end? and
Yeah,
then-
everyone has to get the end, and then whoever gets to the end with the most pieces
So
wins.
you sort of want to take more time that way, I guess.
Yeah.
What if we use the checkers in a different way and say whenever you roll, if you land on one of the spots that doesn't have
A ladder
a
or a
chute or a
slide.
ladder, maybe you could flip the checker like a coin, and if it lands on the
Head or tails.
Milton
oh,
Bradley.
no. Actually, it's the same on both sides.
Is it? This one isn't.
Right.
If you
Okay, if you have one like this, it has Milton Bradley on one side and Connect 4 on the other.
Oh, okay.
Say if it lands Connect 4 up, you get another roll or something?
Maybe.
If it lands the other way, then your turn is done.
Right, you end it there.
So that's another idea.
Yeah.
Should we have like player challenges where if you land on the same spot as
Well,
someone?
I think there's some challenge card
Right.
stuff in here, not just questions. Like this one's like, no, actually that's trivia too. That's a bad example, but I think some of these are challenges though.
Right.
No, I don't think.
No,
Okay.
do you want to keep the trivia?
That's a good idea. So we need to maybe write down all these ideas. That way
Right.
we can. So we said
I took it.
Player challenges. Yeah, Brad.
player challenges, a checker flip,
Right, checker flip or a total checker amount at the end.
right?
Maybe when we get to the middle and like this line, you have to answer a question to get across it.
Maybe.
A
We can have like a
question to get-
special challenge for the middle of the board.
Or maybe like every time you go up a row, if you did like maybe because you could probably
Right,
get through
on
a whole
each
row
up
without,
arrow.
yeah, you could probably get through a whole row without landing on, and you know that's not really fair. So you get a guaranteed question every time you go up a row.
Okay. Yes.
And
We think of some ideas to use these funky dice with.
Yeah, that's a
They've got the numbers 1 through 3, and they
lightning bolt, paw print, and a heart.
right.
maybe if you're on
Maybe if you get like,
Let's let Molly finish.
sorry.
maybe when you're on 99 and you have to roll this, and if you get a 3 you go back to 91. If you get a 2 you go back to 95, and if you get a 1 you go back to 97.
Okay.
And if you get an energy, you have to go back to 88. If you get a paw print, you have to go back to 86. And if you get a heart, you have to answer a question to see if you win or not.
Okay, so this would be like a super dice that you roll on your last turn.
Right. I was
Okay.
thinking maybe they could be like buyable, like one-time uses. You could use some of your chips and buy them. Maybe they can help you, like you can add it to a roll. Like you roll the red die, and then you can use that to add to it if you wanted.
Okay, so we're
So it's
building
like,
off the
like
idea.
a risk and reward type.
Right.
using
So,
the checkers as like a
Currency.
prize that you accumulate, or right,
right.
coins, and then you could use it to
Our version of
kind of
Monopoly
gamble on something
Right.
else.
So you can either save them all till the end, or you can use some to see if you can get more.
Okay.
Maybe if maybe after you answer a question and if you get it right, you get a checker point, 1 checker point.
Okay. And then the checker points we can use to
By
accumulate, right? And you want to get the most. I bet we could probably find some more checkers around the house too,
Probably.
yeah.
or because we may run out
Not
of
too
checkers.
many.
Maybe we could
Here's a whole.
build off of that idea. Maybe instead of
Here's
actually
some more checkers.
keeping the physical checkers, we could
Just write down how many.
yes
you have.
come up with like a point system.
Right.
Everybody has a piece of paper, and we keep track of our points. And then the idea is still to build on that and get to the end with the most points.
Well, there's these papers,
Right. Yep. We could
Then
use
half
those
of
for like
these.
note cards.
and the other half has questions, but
Be
I
like a
made
clue
sure,
sheet.
Mm-hmm.
sure this half doesn't have any.
Okay. What else? Anybody got any other ideas? How do we've got all these things? How do we want to decide who goes first?
We can just roll
We
a
can maybe
die.
roll a
get the highest
die.
number.
Maybe
Or-
if we roll the die and see it twice and see what adds up to the highest,
Okay.
and the one that gets the highest number goes first.
That sounds like a good idea.
We could flip the timer, see who can answer the most trivia questions within the
Before
time
the thing
limit.
runs out. Okay. Be kind of like a
pre-game
warm up.
game.
And I think that's all. Anybody else got any questions?
As the well run dry.
Molly's our conclusion.
Does anybody else?
Why is it black?
Okay.